So in today's lesson, we're going to be finding the circumference of a circle. And to do so, we need to understand radius and diameter from the day before. So please complete this warm-up as a review about radius and diameter. And once you do that, come back to the video and make sure you check your answers to see if you got it correct. So if we look at number 1, the radius is given to us and it's 40 feet, which means our diameter would be 80 feet. For number 2, we are given a diameter of 66 centimeters, and the radius would be half, or 33 centimeters. And for number 3, we're given a radius of 5 millimeters. And if we found the diameter, it would be 10 millimeters. If you understand area and circumference and radius, you should feel confident for today's lesson. So just looking at a vocab again, a circle. And in our circle, we have our center point. We have the radius and the diameter. These are all words we learned yesterday, so you should feel confident on this vocabulary. And what we're going to look at today is the circumference. And if you notice, circumference is the outside, okay? So it's the outside of a circle. Side of a circle. Okay, it's how far around the outside it is. If we really think about it, the circumference of a circle is basically another word for perimeter of a circle. And we can calculate it using 2 separate formulas. You can either do pi times diameter, if you're given the diameter, or you can do 2 times pi times the radius. And that's because, remember, 2 times the radius is really diameter. I personally like to use pi times diameter. That's what I generally stick with. Now, if we look down here, it shows us pi can be approximated as 3.14. I don't ever write it as a fraction. I always think of pi as our decimal 3.14. And remember, pi is a very special number in math. It is a never-ending number. It never repeats. It's extremely unique. They're still finding more digits of pi still today. And it's definitely not 3.14, but that's close for now. If you want to be more exact, you would use the pi button on your calculator. However, for us, we're going to stick with 3.14 just so that our answers are rounded for us. So if we look here, we have to find the circumference of the flying disc. And it says to use 3.14 for pi. Okay, so what I like to do first is start with writing what my formula is. I know circumference is equal to pi times diameter. Okay, if I look at my picture over here, I'm given a radius of 5 inches. My diameter, if the radius is 5 inches, I know my diameter is going to be twice as big. So my diameter would be 10 inches. So where I see D, I'm going to put 10 for my diameter. Pi, I said I was going to put 3.14. And I have to multiply. So if you grab your calculator, you do 3.14 times 10, and we get our answer of 31.4, and it's the outside or around the shape, so we have to label it. 31.4 inches would be our circumference. Here we have a watch, and we're going to use 3.14 for pi always. We want to find our circumference, or that area around the outside of the watch. I know circumference is pi times diameter. So pi is 3.14, and my diameter, it was given to us, is 28 millimeters. So what I need to do is I need to multiply this together. So I grab my calculator and I have 3.14 times 28, and I get a circumference of 87.92. Then I check my label, millimeters. And there I have it. Please complete these 3 problems on your own. Use 3.14 for pi, and then come back and check your answers after you've finished. So if I look at my answers, for number 3, or the first example, on the coin, I have my circumference, or the way around the outside of my coin, would be 12.56 centimeters. For the pool, all the way around the outside of my pool would be 43.96 feet. Then all the way the outside of this plate, or the circumference of my plate, would be 28.26 inches. And now last but not least, we have to talk about semicircles. Semicircles are half a circle, and we have to find the perimeter of the semicircle. So what I like to start with, I'm going to get rid of this stuff, okay? I like to think about, what if I had a whole circle here, okay? Well, I know that purple line I just drew would be my circumference, so I can easily calculate the circumference of my entire circle. It'd be pi times my diameter, or 3.14 times 6. 4 times 6. And if I do so, I get 18.84 meters. However, that's an entire circle. Okay, so I'm going to make the whole circle. If I want just half a circle, okay, I need to take half of this. So I take my circumference and I divide it by 2. So I'm going to take 18.84 and divide it by 2. 18.84 divided by 2. Then this pink region that I just outlined is 9.42 meters. However, our circumference also includes this straight edge. So I have to take my 9.42 meters, and to that I have to add the 6 meters on that straight edge that I have to get a grand total of 15.42 meters around that semicircle. Okay, so think about how I do this. I find my circumference, I divide it by 2, and then I add the straight edge to whatever I have, and I get my answer. So I'll do one more with you, number 7. And let's look at it. So first, let's find the circumference of the whole shape. It'd be pi times diameter. So it's 3.14 times 2. So I have 3.14 times 2. And I get my circumference of the entire circle is 6.28. But I only want a semicircle, so I have to divide it by 2. So I have 6.28 divided by 2, which gives me 3.14. And to that, I need to add my straight edge. So I'm going to add the 2 feet to that. And all in all, I get 5.14 feet for my perimeter of the semicircle. Pause the video, complete 8 and 9, then come back and check your answers. So if we look at our last 2 examples, number 8 was just like the first one we did, and we got 17.99 centimeters for the perimeter. And then with number 9, notice they only gave us a radius, so we had to figure out what the whole diameter would be, which is why I have 30 written there. And so when I do my math, I end up with a perimeter of 77.1 inches.